Alright guys, welcome to another YouTube video. This is Pure as Him and this is Pure TV, man. And we're back at it after week 13. And I'm gonna run through a few of the key games that went on this past week. We got the 49ers and the Eagles, man. It's 42-19, dominant win by the 49ers, man. Brock Purdy played a fantastic game. The 49ers played a great game. The Eagles did not play their best, but it wasn't a lot of turnovers in the game. If I'm not mistaken, it was 0 turnovers, no interceptions, no fumbles, nothing. And each team, did what they were supposed to do, and the 49ers were just a better team.
And this right here is a play by Brock Purdy. Avoids the tackle, avoids another tackle, uses his feet to scramble at least 3 to 4, maybe possible 5 yards, making something out of nothing. That's a great play by him. A play that I don't think he would have made last year. He's another play, fake to the right, swing back to the left, throw it back right in the back of the end zone to Aiyuk. It's a great play, man. Resets his feet, finds Aiyuk, beautiful touchdown.
And this right here is a great run by CMC, hitting the hole, finally untouched, clean as day.
And this right here pretty much wrapped up the game. The screenplay by Debo, man, standing on business, and that he was, man. Beautiful play by Debo. And that pretty much, like I said, wrapped the game up right there, man.
We'll go down a few stats for you guys. Brock Purdy was 19 of 27. He had 314 yards, 4 touchdowns. C-Mac, 93 rushing yards, a total. Debo Samuels, he came out, he said last year, if they had a quarterback, the outcome would have been different. And he stood on business. The all black, the black forces, you know what that means, man. A dangerous man in black forces, everybody know how that go. He had 4 receptions, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, a total of 3 touchdowns total. It's a fantastic game by them, man. The 49ers is dominating in all areas of the game. The Eagles, Hurts was 26 of 45. He had 298 yards, 1 touchdown. A.J. Brown had 8 receptions for 114. I mean, like I said, the 49ers is a better team, man. You look at it on paper, it seems like an even matchup, but I feel like the 49ers do have that edge. Being that running back, C-Mac is a huge difference maker. Not taking a knock away from Swift, but he's not C-Mac. He can catch it on the ground. He can catch on the ground and he can run. I'm not saying that Swift can't do that, but that's not as equal or even better to C-Mac. The 49ers did slow down the Eagles' run game, and I feel like that's a big part of their scheme is to get the run game going with Hurts and Swift, and they took that away from them. I mean, the 49ers scored 2 touchdowns in each quarter except the first. It was a slow start. The Eagles punched those 2 field goals in early in the first quarter. But after that, it was all 49ers out the whole game. It just seemed like they wanted it more. And a better team came out. In my eyes, a better team came out. So down to the next game, we have the Cowboys and the Seahawks. The Cowboys came out victorious 41-35. Dak Prescott played a great game. 29-41, 299 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I love it. He cleaned up the interceptions, and I love to see it week by week. You clean up those interceptions. It's hard to beat a team when they don't make too many mistakes, and he cleaned that up this game. Pollard he had 20 carries for 68 yards and a tud. CeeDee Lamb, another monster game, 12 receptions, 116 yards. He had 1 touchdown. CeeDee Lamb is playing out of his mind this year. He's taking that jump. When the first couple of weeks started, I know a lot of people was doubting if he was a true number 1 wide receiver when they let go of Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper went to the Cleveland Browns, and it was a little slow start for CeeDee Lamb, but now it seems like he has his groove. Dak Prescott is finding him, and he's making it count when he does get those touches. And okay, so then we have Geno Smith's stats. He was 23 of 41. He had 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So he played a great game. He played a good game as well. The interception, you got to clean that up. That DK Metcalf, 6 receptions, 134 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was a man on a mission. A man on a mission with 3 touchdowns over Bland, who to me, he's been playing pretty good this year at DB while Trevon Diggs has been out. I feel like he's been playing great since he's been out. The pick sixes and returning to the house. A record-breaking year he's been having. But unfortunately, DK is a different type of animal. Big physical wide receiver. Getting open space is hard to take down. And once he get those legs moving, he's a track star. And that's what will showcase his game. The Cowboys really sealed it in the 4th quarter with that touchdown. So Ferguson, the 12-yard touchdown. Dak found him for that touchdown. And the Cowboys, the one thing that I feel like they do need to pick up is that pass rush. They only had 1 sack. Micah and D-Law, where are you? That front 4, they need that pressure. That back end, they don't have Trevon Diggs, so you don't have he don't have as much time to get back there when it's kind of climbed up. Even though Bland has been stepping up and Stephon, they've been doing a decent job. They still need your guys to go out there and get that pressure so they can force those turnovers. Bland did have one interception, but he still, DK still handled his business on his end. So, but the best team came out. How about them Cowboys? We had the Dolphins 45 to the Commanders 15. Tua was 18 of 24. He had 280 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. McCannon, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but he did come back. He had 17 carries for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Tyreek Hill, man, another monster game. Another monster game, bro. He had 5 receptions for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns. Think about that. 157 yards. That's tough. That's tough, man.
All right, here's a little action from the game. Tua finding Tyreek for, another long touchdown. Defense don't know why they didn't give the safety help over the top. That's an easy touchdown by him in the celebration. Spot on. And here's another find by Tua. Nice little throw in strive. All he did was catch it and go in, touchdown. Another one. He should have MVP in his hands by the end of the season. He got my vote if I could.
Tyreek Hill, he's having a fantastic year. MVP year, to be exact. We can go down a list of I'm gonna go down a list of y'all how many, yards he had per game. He had 157, 102, 146, 112, 163, 181, 157, and 215. That's historically great. So if he's not the leading MVP for this year, I don't know who else they should hand it to. It's ridiculous, man. And the MVP races right now, they have Jalen Hurts at 1. They got Dak, Brock Purdy, and Lamar, and they're all favorites to win. All quarterbacks. Can we get somebody new this year to win MVP outside of a quarterback? Quarterback, even though he has the ball 100% of the time each snap. Well, I can say 99.5 if they run a wildcat or something. But other than that, the quarterback has it. Even though he has it in his hands majority of the game, it's other players that impact the game who get those touches, who defense is key on outside of just the quarterback. You feel me? And Tyreek Hill, you can't single him, you can't double him, you got to triple team, you got to shade toward him, you got to do whatever you can do to keep the ball out of his hands. Because when the ball is in his hands, a touchdown is bound to happen. It's tough, man. It's tough. So then looking at those quarterbacks that they do have favor in the MVP race, let's go down some of those stats because it's just hard for me to believe that Tyreek Hill is not leading, in that MVP race. So they had Jalen Hurts, who was 11th in passing, 66.5% completion rating, 2,995 yards. He's averaging 249, yards per game and a 19/10 ratio of touchdowns and interceptions. Dak, and Hurts QBR is 8th. He is 8th. Dak is 2nd in QBR, who is 70.1% completion rating. He has over 3,200 yards. He's averaging 269.5 yards per game, and his touchdown ratio is 26-6. You got Brock Purdy, who's first in QBR, and Brock Purdy's having a fantastic year, taking away nothing from him. His team is sitting at 9-3. He's got a completion rating over 70%. He got over 3,100 yards, really almost 32 because he's at 3,185. He's averaging 265.4 yards per game, and his touchdown over interception ratio is 23-6. 23-6. And then, of course, they have Lamar. He had 13th best QBR rating out of the quarterbacks, who's 68.3% completion rating, 2,600 yards. He has 218. He's averaging 218 yards per game, and he has a 13/5 touchdown over interception ratio. So even though those numbers, if it's too much for you guys, those are not historically great numbers. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's quarterbacks who have a way better seasons than that, and it's to take away nothing from those teams because Hurts team is 10-2, Dak team is 9-3, Brock Purdy team is 9-3, Lamar team is 9-3. So it's not that they're not playing great. Those teams are all winning, but Tyreek Hill team is winning too, and he's putting up historic numbers, and he's on pace to break historic great numbers, stats that no one thought he probably would even be able to break at 5'9", 5'8", who's just, he's just a speedster, as people say. I mean, he's even putting up better numbers, to me, when he was on the Chiefs. He's putting up better numbers. He's putting up better numbers than he was on the Chiefs. His best season for the Chiefs was in 2018. He played 16 games at 87 receptions, 1,400 yards. He was averaging 17 a pop when he caught it. 12 touchdowns. And he had 8 deep balls, 40 plus. Compared to this year, he had only played 12 games so far. He has 93 receptions, so he's getting the ball way more than he was on the Chiefs. Of course, he's the number one option. Of course, when he was on the Chiefs, they had Travis Kelce as well, so he wasn't getting as many touches. This year, it's a difference, and he said it. He should have been that number one guy. He should have been the number one guy. No disrespect to Travis Kelce, he's a phenomenal tight end, great, maybe top 5 tight end ever, 10 top tight end ever, arguably. So then he has 1,481 yards, and in that 2018 season, he only had 1,479. My bad. He only had 1,479 yards, and this year he has 1,481 yards, and he still has, compared to last year, 16 games, he only played 12 this year, so he still has time to improve on that, and even, he's going to top that, of course, but he's tied for 2018 as well with 12 touchdowns, and he even has one extra deep ball on that great stat line as well. So for him not to be leading in the MVP races, it's crazy to me. Then I'm gonna go ahead going down to the next couple of games. We have the Bengals versus the Jags, 34-31. The OT win without Joe Burrow. That was a much needed win for them to keep them in the playoff picture. The backup quarterback, Jake Brown, I think that's what his name is. He was 32 of 37, 354 yards. He had 1 touchdown. And Jamar Chase, of course, he's still going to do, what Jamar Chase do, regardless of who's back there. Just throw it to him. And he's going to make something happen. He was at 11 receptions, 149 yards in the tug. Monsters, man, monsters. And talking about the Chiefs in that 2018 season, the Chiefs now, they're not the same Chiefs they were a couple years ago, 2 years ago. 3 years ago, they're not. And I said they were going to take a little shot this year at the beginning of the season. They lost to the Packers 27-19. Mahomes was only limited to 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Pacheco played a great game. He had 18 carries for 110 yards and 1 touchdown. Of course, it was cold, but there's no excuse. Jordan Love was 25 of 36, 267, and 3 touchdowns. They're not looking the same, man. The wide receivers took a hit. The line took a hit. The defense is doing what they need to do, but it's tough when the offense is not putting those points on the board and not at a consistent rate. We're not used to seeing Pat Mahomes, not put up those points, make those, crazy throws, and the receivers really catching it. He really needs those receivers to catch the ball for him. And at the end of the day, that's why I feel like the MVP, it shouldn't be only based on quarterback play, because there's other aspects of the game that could really determine the outcome of the game. And then so now we have the playoff picture, 2023, and at the number 1 in the AFC, we have Miami at number 1. And this is it for right now. The playoffs is the start right now. Miami will have a bye week. We'll have Baltimore, Indiana at Baltimore. Baltimore is in that 2nd spot. Indiana's in that 7th spot. We have KC at the number 3 spot, and they will be playing Cleveland, and Cleveland is at number 6 spot. And Jacksonville will be at number 4, and Pittsburgh will be at number 5. And even though, if you guys were not watching the game, Trevor Lawrence did get injured with an ankle sprain. It looked, bad. It looked worse than what it looked like. But luckily, he's blessed, and he should be able to come back in maybe 2 weeks. Hopefully they don't rush it, but that playoff spot is going to be kind of tight. So knowing how the NFL is, they're probably rushing back. Hopefully he stay healthy. So yeah, just again, Miami at the number 1 spot, Baltimore at number 2. We have Kansas City Chiefs at number 3, Jacksonville at number 4. We have Indiana. We have Pittsburgh at number 5. We have Cleveland number 6, and we have Indiana number 7. So for the NFC, of course, you have Philly at number 1, who gets the bye week. San Francisco will be matching up with Green Bay. Of course, San Francisco is in that number 2 spot. We have Detroit at the number 3 spot, and they'll be meeting up with Minnesota, and Minnesota is ranked number 6. Atlanta, my Atlanta Falcons, of course, rise up. We're ranked number 4, and we will be meeting Dallas, and Dallas is number 5. Yeah, so that's how the playoff picture be looking. I still have the Eagles and the Ravens meeting up in the Super Bowl, hopefully. If not, my Falcons, I know, should take it all the way. My Falcons should take it all the way, man. But now, and talking about my Falcons, we won our game. You know, back-to-back weeks we won. I'm very proud of my team after the bye. We got together, getting the job done as needed. We beat the Jets, of course. Ritter was 12 for 27, 121 yards, 1 touchdown. Nothing crazy. Still playing. I mean, he's still young. You know, we give him time. He's just not consistent right now, and I really want consistency from him. But you can't rush, you know, potential. You got to give it time. And I kind of see what they see. You know, I still want that. I still want us to draft a quarterback. Of course, if we could get a quarterback, I would want us to get a quarterback. But I don't know how they do things. You know, in Atlanta. I don't know how it win. But you know, Bijan Robinson had 18 carries, 53 yards. Pitts 4 catches, 51 yards. Not nothing really crazy, you know. They played in rain, so that's how that game went. I mean, then I'm gonna give you guys a couple rundowns of a couple more games. We had the Titans, 28. They lost to the Colts, 31-28. Minshew with another dub. He's getting the job done. You know, even though Anthony Richardson is out, he's still, you know, I think if I'm not mistaken, this might be his second dub or third dub, however, whatever the case may be. The Lions beat the Saints. Derek Carr was getting booed, which is crazy. You're getting booed at home. You just got on the team. It's crazy already. Lions came back, got that dub. Broncos lost to the Texans, 22-17. C.J. Stroud got it done again, and C.J. Stroud has really grown on me. He, you know, starting to be one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. You know, anytime I see them, I'm rooting for him. The Chargers beat the Pats in a 6-0 victory. I don't know how the Pats can put up a touchdown. You wait 6 days. You practice probably five and a half days a week. You put up no touchdowns. What's going on? Who's the coordinator? You know, no offense, but you know the head coach. You gotta, you feel me? You gotta get the job done, bro. 0 points is crazy. Cardinals beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 24-10. Not the Packers, but the Panthers lost to the Bucks 21-18. Baker Mayfield and those boys. And oh yeah, Mike Evans did get over that 1K mark again. Mr. K himself, 1K himself. It seems like every season he's getting 1K. He's underrated, man. Definitely one of the best wide receivers to play the game. And also the next game we had the Rams beating the Browns 36-19. So that indeed was week 13. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like, thumbs up, go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment if you like, and I'll look to see you next time on the next YouTube video.
Thank you guys for viewing this video. If you like, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and share, and look to see you next time.